On part one of this series, we talked about how walking can improve your creativity substantially. And on part two, here we're going to talk about the science behind why that actually works. And you're probably wondering why I'm wearing a Buffalo Wild Wings headband. And if you stick around to the end, it means you gotta wait till the very end, I will tell you the story of why I'm wearing a Buffalo Wild Wings headband. So, on to the science. Part of the science we've learned is that, as you can see also, I'm walking on a treadmill. It's not, you can't see my feet, but I assure you I am walking on a treadmill. And the reason why I'm walking on a treadmill is because the science behind walking and creativity shows that actually it doesn't matter whether you're outside, inside, whether you're walking in your apartment or your house or on a treadmill, the effects are the same. You walking in, just walking alone will improve your creativity. And here's why. When you're walking, your mind is able to do something called divergent thinking. And divergent thinking simply means it's just another way of saying thinking outside the box. So when you're divergent thinking, your mind values quantity over quality, and you're not necessarily trying to sort of, in this linear way, try and solve a problem. You're open to all kinds of problems, like anything. Your mind becomes very creative. And that is what divergent thinking is, and that is what walking and creativity are all about. So what actually creates the divergent thinking? The first thing is very obvious. It's oxygen and blood more flowing. The more you walk, the more blood and oxygen go to your brain, and it actually, like, getting it kind of hyped up and gives it more power for thinking. The second thing is that when you're walking, your brain is forced to focus on the rhythmic nature of what you're doing. Left foot, right foot, left foot. And in doing so, because that focus is now partially on that activity, it actually silences sort of the inner critic of your mind that tells you not to think about things and lets you be creative. And it sort of like takes the enforcer away. And voila, here comes some creative out-of-the-box ideas. And finally, when you're walking, your body activates what we call the daydreaming network. And because you tend to, as you walk, you tend to become relaxed. You start to daydream. Your mind starts to wander. It's not focused on any one thing. It just goes anywhere. And in that daydreaming, here comes creativity. It just pours in. So there's a lot more to the science behind all of this, but these are the three main elements of why creativity can be dramatically increased by walking in any kind of way. And if you're still here, I'm going to tell you how I became a champion. And back in 2020, 2021, I'm not sure the exact dates, but we happened to be in a Buffalo Wild Wings with my family, and we noticed that they have a contest called the Reaper Eating Contest. And Carolina Reapers, like, death level heat. And the contest was to eat 10 wings slathered in Reaper hot sauce in under 5 minutes, no napkin, no water, no rubbing your hands. And they literally, a woman, well, it was somewhere in Passaic, I think, where I went and did this. They watch you eat while you have to finish every piece of meat in there, and the woman stood there with a stopwatch and just stared at me to watch and to make sure that I'm not cheating or doing anything wrong. And I made it. I'm a champion. So I'm a bit of an athlete, as you can hear from this, and my name is permanently enshrined in the records there at Buffalo Wild Wings as someone who completed this task. And I got this. This headband is my reward. I mean, the reward is the glory, but this is just proof. So If you're ever up in the Buffalo Wild Wings in, I believe, Passaic, New Jersey, know that there's a guy who was a champion who's just talking and talking, and he's about to stop talking, and he's going to ask you to subscribe. Hit the button wherever that is, and you didn't need to be here, but you came, so catch you later.